that being said, Jay, what's up, man?
Oh man,
How you feeling, brother?
thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you and Key, making this happen and making a space for us to have a conversation about what's going on, not just personally, but with our people. And we in a bad space, and everybody has their opinion, everybody has something to say, but a lot of it is, like you said, I want to do what I want to do, and there's no consideration for what our Creator wants us to do.
Correct.
We are created. We didn't get here on our own. We didn't get here of our own accord. And what has happened is there's so much confusion that's sown in between everybody having something to say about what you're supposed to do or what seems good or what's not. That there's no real answers. And I'm not saying that I have all of the answers, but it's a different perspective that, that you have to come from where wisdom is involved, where consideration for what the Most High has, what He laid out is involved. When I say the Most High, I'm talking about the God of the Bible, the Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. What He laid out for His people. There's a whole book about it. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of us are under the impression that we get misinformation about Bible. We get information about the scriptures. We get misinformation about, things that existed before, things that existed after. There are a whole lot of arguments that come up, and it all just sows confusion into what we're supposed to do, and it also adds to, well, since that's not right anyway, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. That's not right anyway, so I'm going to do what feels good to me. That's not right anyway, or this was here before that, and then you have all of these differences of opinion, and it's just madness. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to address it. I feel like it's important to address it. Bridge 11 feels like it's important to address it, and this is why we're back here.
I love it. Jay, I wholeheartedly agree. I would definitely say that's what's going on. That's what's plaguing us as a people. One, what do you see amongst the men? What's from your lens? What's troubling us today? What's got us away from the Lord? What has our homes divided? What has us deceived? What has us tempted? What's keeping us from receiving that blessing in full from the Lord? What is it that you see amongst our men that is taking
I'm
us?
have to start writing stuff down. Just keep going. So what I think and what I see is, number one, us going away from our identity. So it was orchestrated for us when we were brought here that we had no remembrance of who we were. So, and when I say brought here, I'm talking about slavery, right? And nobody wants to hear about slavery. That's cool, but you're gonna hear about it today. When we were brought here during slavery, it was orchestrated for us to lose our identity. It was orchestrated for us to not know who we were. The nations knew that if we came away from the laws, statutes, and commandments that God gave us, that we wouldn't be able to serve Him. And it was to put a word on it is like, I can't even put words on it. It's just the way that it happened. When you look into the history of the transatlantic slave trade, things that happened before that, the Spanish Inquisition, things of that nature, like, to say it's a tragedy is not even putting the right words on it. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being done, then us being brought here and put into a system of chattel slavery, where we were serving, and I'm talking about the men and women in our families. We were serving, we were beat, we were castrated, we were destroyed, we was hung, and then we were set free. And I know it didn't necessarily happen in that order, but we were so-called set free from the slavery system and put into another system, which is the prison pipeline. And then drugs was involved in injected into our communities. So the power of the man, our power is the Most High, our power is the Most High God, but we were taken away from our power and then put into a structure that didn't support manhood, didn't support men being men, and slowly but surely, like it doesn't happen overnight. And I know I ran through a lot of things quickly, but we all know that it's been years of this process. And it took years for all of it to come to fruition. What we're seeing now is a result of all of those things that I just mentioned, plus crack cocaine, heroin, sexual immorality, sexual abuse, our women being tortured and sexually abused over the years. So a lot of us are children of those things. A lot of us are the result of those things. But like I said, when I was talking to Keith the last time, we still gotta live, and we're living in pain. So when you're living in pain, you try to take something to relieve the pain that you're living in. So what comes into play? Stuff that makes me feel good. Yeah. And that's where we're at, is everybody doing what makes them feel good. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. Jay, how do we get away from that? How do our men break away from that brick by brick? What's the process look like in your lens? Like what are things we can incorporate little by little? Because not to cut you off, but I only ask in that format because we're hard-headed.
Well, everybody doesn't want to not feel good. And that's one of the things that's there. It's like, I got money, so the idea is once I have money, I can pay for whatever makes me feel good, right? So if she looks good, I can pay for her. If the car looks good, I can pay for it. If the trip looks good for me to go to wherever, and let's say DR, you got a lot of our men that are running to these other countries and amusing themselves with women that are in other countries, and they're paying for these pleasures. You understand what I'm saying? So all of this stuff is incorporated into what's making them feel good.
The pride of life.
The pride of life and the lust of the eyes. So they're basically what's making you feel good. That's what I was about to get to, is your lust. So you're basically so engulfed and ingrained in fulfilling your lust that you forget about what God purposed you for. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't work. That doesn't work hand in hand. So if the person wants to do what God purposed them for, they have to take the process of, take the time to see what is going to get them away from their lust. It can't work hand in hand. You can't serve your lust and serve God.
Agree. Jay, with that being said, I'm a 20-year-old. I have a God-fearing background, but I can't stay on track for whatever reason. Like, I don't see anything wrong with what I'm doing. I gotta look out for me because nobody else will. And it's easy for me to, I'm told I need to do A, B, C, but I'm not really seeing the fruit from that, and this feels better. But I know deep down, I need to get to point A in order to undo the curses in Deuteronomy 28. What's something I could do? I'm 20 years old. Like, do I go to the gym?
What do you mean point A to get away from the curses?
So, everything you just said is whole. But we not the 20-year-old that's watching this, the 25-year-old that's watching this, the 15-year-old, the 30-year-old, the 35-year-old. We could all have the Lord's foundation, but if we're immersed in deception, lust, temptation. I believe we need strategies and exercises to get away from these things in each of those different spaces, whether a man be 15 or 30. How can I get away what's distracting me or disrupting me and start to get in line with what the Lord wants so I can be where I need to be and remember who I am? You see what I'm saying? That obviously that's different for a 20-year-old than it would a 30-year-old, but what's something?
It's very difficult. It's a very difficult task. Mostly because you're bombarded with temporary attention, right?
Right.
So
Instagram, Facebook.
your phone is poison.
Okay. The phone is poison.
That's just basically what it is.
My phone's a poison.
You don't really realize. So I was looking at something today, and it said that it said something about iniquity, right?
Yeah.
And iniquity in the Hebrew, I don't know how true this is, but you could look it up. It says iniquity in the Hebrew letters is it's 3 letters that mean eye, hook, and magnify, right? So what you see, a hook is to draw something to you, and it's magnified, right? Which it made a lot of sense to me, whether it's what it is or not, right? But what you see, you draw it to you, and it's magnified. So I tell people all the time, before I heard this, what you see and what you respect is what you become. So if you're looking in your phone and you're watching things that you respect, that's what you become. So so this is why I believe that the music was changed years ago, from the conscious music era,
Frequency.
to not only the frequency but the lyrics,
The message.
what you're hearing. You understand what I'm saying? So what you're taking in, right? I believe that that's why it was changed years ago. You understand what I'm saying? And now it's just way worse than what it was before. So it's like, you have women rappers that are promoting madness going into grade schools, going into middle schools.
Right.
And the middle school kids are singing these songs that have lyrics that are just way out of, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. You feel me? But, and if your child actually participated in the stuff that they were singing, you would lose your mind. But you allow your child to dance to this and have what they call fun because it feels good, right? So when it takes life in the child, because this is what they're being fed, and you're not paying attention to what they're doing, because what you do is you hand your child an iPad at 5 years old, 6 years old, and then they taking on this music. They can watch whatever they want to on the iPad, and now now what you've given them has actually come to life in them, and now your child is participating in activities that you don't agree with.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of that question that comes with the young man comes with the upbringing too.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like you said before about what the upbringing is for us as a people.
Right.
Even though you bring them up right, they might not go right. But if you bring them up right, they have a better chance of going in a better direction. You understand what I'm saying?
Due to the foundation.
Due to the foundation that was laid.
Okay.
A lot of our foundations are off. A lot of our young men need guidance. That's not scammer guidance. That's not jewelry guidance. That's not alcohol guidance. That's not smoking tremendous amounts of weed guidance. You understand what I'm saying?
Flesh and things of the world.
Satisfying your own satisfying your own desires. Like all of these things, because this is what we do, and this is what we're taught to do. A lot of it is why we're in the space that we're in. You feel what I'm saying? Because we're not about serving God, we're about serving, like I said before, our flesh, right?
So it definitely seems like in order to get to where we need to be as a people, we need to deny ourselves as best we can day by day.
But you gotta know who you are that you're denying. So when I said that it was orchestrated for us to not know who we were, right?
Right.
If you look at if you look into the history of who they took, and I think a good reference is Hidden Hebrews, the series. They go into a lot of the history of the Spanish Inquisition and all those things, and how we were brought to Africa, the Ivory Coast, and so from there, and brought over here, like the translated slave trade people.
Hidden Hebrews.
Hidden Hebrews.
Where can the folks find that at?
It's by Benaiah Israel. It's on YouTube. It's a series on YouTube that they can look at.
Hidden Hebrews, YouTube.
Yeah, y'all make sure y'all check that out. There's a few of them. There's volume 1, 2, 3, and 4. Also, Reclaiming the Throne is another one. That's really, really good at letting us know, like, when they took us, they came to take the Hebrews. They didn't come to take anybody else. They came to take the Hebrews. They knew exactly who they were taking. They wrote letters saying that this is Deuteronomy 28. And I'm talking about Deuteronomy 28 was written thousands of years ago. This happened in the 14 and 1500s where they were selling us off. And they said that this was actually Deuteronomy 28 taking place. So they knew that when they were selling the Hebrews into slavery, they knew exactly who they were taking and what they were doing. We lost our identity. Excuse me, they took our identity from us and then gave us Black, African American, Negroes. So we don't know who we are. Our parents don't know who they are because the children were taken away from their parents. And it's hundreds of years that have passed by. And countless information and it's a lot of confusion that's involved with it as well. So even with me saying this, people probably be like, nah, we ain't Hebrews, we this. We not Hebrews, we that. You understand what I'm saying? But that's just a part of everything that took place. You feel me?
Right.
So it just adds to the confusion. So if you don't know who you are from the root, then you don't know what was given to us. What was given to us is the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, right?
Right.
And we were supposed to keep those laws, statutes, and commandments. So then you get into a situation where you have the churches now, right? The church situation, and they're like, yo, we ain't got to keep the commandments. We don't have to keep the commandments no more, right? Because Christ came and fulfilled the commandments.
Okay.
That's a whole nother set of confusion, right? Christ didn't take the commandments away. Christ took away sacrifice. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
He took away blood sacrifice. He didn't take away the commandments. So the children of Israel were still supposed to keep the commandments. The other nations were given their orders to follow according to the commandments. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So without going too, like, you know what I'm saying?
Without going too deep.
Yeah, without going too deep into it. But the children of Israel were supposed to still keep those commandments. But Christ even said that you was going to be scattered into all nations until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled, and Jerusalem would be trodden down in the Gentiles.
That's where we are today as a whole.
And this is where we at. We scattered into all nations, and Jerusalem is trodden down in the Gentiles.
That explains what
Without us being canceled
Right.
for saying the wrong thing.
Without us being canceled for saying that. Okay. Well, man, it seems like we have quite a bit of work to do as a people, let alone the men.
But the individual that has to do the work, right? And then
True.
another thing is that
We gotta want to do the work.
right, but doing what feels good is better than doing the work.
Absolutely, that's what's been taught to us.
Yeah.
Doing what feels good feels better than doing the work.
Right.
But me personally, us doing what feels good has set us back, and it's not getting us nowhere as a people. You know what
No,
I'm
that's
saying?
not true. That's not true.
At what point are we
I'm
really
gonna tell you why
doing-
it's not true. Because if you look at your phone, right?
Okay.
There's hundreds of thousands of us that's making six figures.
Yeah.
Women making six figures. Niggas making six figures.
Yeah.
Excuse me, dudes making six figures. Right?
Brothers, yeah.
Brothers making six figures. We on trips. We on girl trips. We on boy trips. We doing everything that we possibly can to fulfill our lust and desire, right? Because we got the money to do it. But we ain't got no families. There's no families. There's no family structure. Our family structure is gone. Our women and men relationship, like I said before, we got war with each other.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But you doing what makes you feel good today. You doing what makes me and my girls is going to Cancun. Me and my boys is going to DR. We going, you know what I'm saying? And our attitude is F them, and their attitude is F us. You feel what I'm saying? And but not only that, now everybody's sitting down doing this, right? In opposition on each side of the room.
That's true.
You feel what I'm saying to you?
Right.
So
we can't create platforms to destroy one another. We got to create to build and to coexist with one another.
but nobody's saying that, right? And nobody's saying, why is this being done? You feel what I'm saying? Remember I said before, like you said at odds with two dogs. You shake them up, you understand what I'm saying? And then you allow them to go to war with each other. Now, this is what it is between us and our women. You feel what I'm saying? But we have to take charge and responsibility for what we do, right? So if that's your man, or if you know that woman has a man, don't sleep with her. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
The line in the sand.
you have to take control of yourself at some point.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying to you?
Right.
If that woman has a man, don't sleep with her. If that woman has a man, don't be in her DMs. Don't be on her phone. Don't, you know what I'm saying, entertain her just because you might have more prep to do.
So Jay, you saying we gotta get to a space, the men prefer, or at least in this segment, we gotta get to a space to where we can conquer what conquers us, whether it be mental or physical.
It's your lust.
And we gotta be respectful.
But it's your lust,
Right.
right? It's your lust that allows you to do that. And not having self-control.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The scripture tell you not to commit adultery, right? You know what adultery is?
Sleeping with another spouse. Sleeping with.
No, it's sleeping with a woman that's married. Sleeping with another man's wife. That's what adultery is according to what the scripture says. Y'all might disagree with me. I don't care.
That can be applied vice versa.
No, it's not vice versa.
That's it.
If a woman is married and another man sleeps with her, that's adultery. If a woman is not married and a man sleeps with her, that's supposed to be his wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're dealing with paying for sex and things of that nature, that's fornication, that's outside of that realm. But I'm just talking about what the scripture says about a woman being married and committing adultery, right? We are taught in our culture, from all of the songs that's been put out since I was 12 years old. Well, not 12 years old, but older than that, but I'm gonna screw your chick. I'm gonna screw your chick. Your chick doing this to me. Your chick doing that to me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a badge of honor in our society for us to sleep with niggas' wives or dudes' women. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
where we get that from?
it's. I don't know where it came from, but it's programmed into us. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know who started it. I can't point a finger at who started it.
It's been around.
But it's programmed into us, and I'm sure it's been around way longer than we think, but that's a part of the ruining families.
We gotta do away with that, Jay.
It is. We do have to do away with
We
it.
gotta do away with it.
But it's a part of the family structure being destroyed, right? Because the woman is not allowed to be a woman and set in her space, right?
In today's day and time.
In today's day and time, meaning my girl can't be my girl if you holler at her because it's enticing. Now they would say, yo, you blaming the woman for being enticed, right? But what the fuck are you enticing her for? What are you bothering her for? You know she has a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have a responsibility to take that on as a man yourself and say, I'm gonna have respect for that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we don't have any respect for a man having a woman. And this is the man's perspective. You understand what I'm saying? On the man's side. On the woman's side, they gotta take responsibility for what they do too, but it's enticing. If my man is working for, excuse me, if I'm the man and I'm working for the bus company and I'm driving the bus, right, and I'm making $40,000 a year, and a nigga pull up on a Ferrari, and she go get in the car. You feel what I'm saying? They're gonna say, yo, that wasn't your woman in the first place. But I mean, you know who you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? But it's still the man's responsibility. You feel me? But insecure dudes have got paper, got money, and now they're able to buy whatever they need, whatever they want, whatever they lust desires. You feel what I'm saying? And that's why I say that's not true, because they call that success.
In today's day,
What is it to Christ?
worship me,
And I'll give you everything in this world. Worship me and I'll give you everything in this world. So, is that really success? When you see somebody that has everything? Or have they worshiped Satan to get what they want? You don't know, right?
Right.
But they'll tell you God, this God, that, thank God, this, that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They'll tell you thank God, but what God are they thanking? If they're participating in immoral behavior, if they're participating in stuff that you know is against God, then what God are they thanking?
What are you doing?
When they participate in stuff that's against the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, then who are you thanking for your success? Who's providing that for you? Right? You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
When you see these things in your face, like, you know, the rappers, they got whatever they want. But whose God are they thanking?
Yo, I'm glad you brought that up.
Does that make sense?
It does. It makes sense wholeheartedly. I wanted to actually ask you about that. Side note, it's like when you're out and about, when you're with your missus, you know, your friends, family, or whatever. At least for me, it seems like when we go out, almost every other, no disrespect to anybody, but it seems as though almost every other race or culture follows a directive or a tradition. They stick to a narrative. It kind of seems like we the only race of people that's just, do what I want. I'm gonna just forget what y'all talking about. This is what it is.
It's by design. That's absolutely true. Our design is the scriptures. That's our culture. That's our design. That's what was given to us. We are the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They knew that. When you read the scriptures, if you study what y'all call the Old Testament, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you read the scriptures, the nations knew you can't defeat those people unless you get them to turn against their God. Unless you get them to sin, right? Unless you get them to turn against their God, you can't defeat them. You can't do nothing with them. The scripture says when we turn back to him, he's going to turn towards us. The problem is the nations got a problem with him turning towards us because they can't have their power if we turn to him. They can't be in power if we turn to him.
The answer.
So this is our whole answer as a people. All of us turning to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and go, yo, we need to get out of here.
Yeah.
Repent for what you've done, whether it was ignorant or on purpose, right? Those who want to transgress and go against him deliberately, they're going to be where they at. But the people who want to make a difference, it ain't Trump, it ain't Kamala, it's the Most High.
None of those situations.
None of those
situations going to fix our problem.
You understand what I'm saying?
Only
To turn away from your lusts and your desires and turn back to the Most High God. And that's where it's at. It ain't money. Money's not going to buy you out of it because it's people that among us that have millions of dollars and they miserable. Look at Puff. You got millions of dollars and you dragging a woman down the hallway? You don't have self-control. And who knows what went on?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Leave that alone.
Yeah. Right.
But
They coming.
you feel what I'm saying?
Coming
Like,
track. Yeah.
it's wild, fam. And that's just one person. They know what kind of darkness is going on in them rooms and them places with us. So all of the success that you see that's attributed to, oh, niggas got money. You feel what I'm saying? It's not necessarily success. It's a show. Looks good.
It's a show.
Right?
It's a show.
Looks good. But it's not necessarily success. These people, a lot of them, they're soulless. Like they don't have souls. They've given up their soul for whatever it is that they desire. And the nations, like you said, they have their way of being. They have their upbringing. They have their laws because they kept it over generations, over years, right? Like I said, they separated us when they sent us over here, they separated us from our parents. They separated us from our culture. So that when you get here, you don't know who you are. You feel me?
Right.
We get mixed in families, everybody, nobody knows who's who.
That's true.
So by the grace of God, this information has been brought out in the last, a lot of people have come to realize this information in the last, like since 2014, 15. You know what I'm saying? Saying, yo, wait a minute, we actually are the Hebrews.
Right.
We actually are the Most High's children.
Right.
We got to come back to Him.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? A lot of our church brothers and sisters don't accept this. A lot of our people in the mega churches don't accept this because it doesn't feed your pocket
Or make you feel good.
or make you feel good.
Right.
You got to take responsibility for a lot of stuff that you don't want to take responsibility for.
Correct.
But what happens is, back then, they said, let Christ's blood be upon us and upon our children's children. Guess who's the children's children? You and me.
Right.
So now we got to say, Lord, can you please take that reproach from us, from them, and let us return to you so we can return to what we need to be? Because we're dying out here.
Right. Right.
We dying out here.
In
We
more ways
dying
than
out here in more ways than one.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying to you? We killing it like it's crazy.
Jay, tell me if I'm bugging out here. It kind of feels like once upon a time we had leadership amongst one another, you know, black men. It kind of feels like there is a significant lack thereof in today's day and time. Do you feel that? What are
They leading you to?
It feels like we don't have any leadership to a degree.
No, there's leadership. It's just what are they leading you to, right?
Okay.
So it's just more confusion. You understand what I'm saying? You have this guy, what's my man name? Umar, right? He's the Prince of Pan-Africanism, so that's a whole nother set of whatever they deal with over there, right? You have the Christian leaders, right? That deal with, you know, the churches and whatever they deal with. You feel what I'm saying? But none of us are saying, none of those people are saying, yo, these curses are put on the children of Israel, right?
Right.
And I know I keep saying that we're the children of Israel, but we the children of Israel. Like there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it, right? But there's still confusion somewhere within the ranks. So when you have those leaders, they find a way. There's a way that's found to discredit what they're saying, right? It's a way that's going to be found to discredit what I'm saying. So you, as the individual, have to go to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That way, your God don't get confused. You understand what I'm saying? Because you can call something else your power. You can give something else your power. Money could be your God. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Your own desire could be your God. Another thing that's most of our gods right now is attention and worship. All of us want to be worshipped. That's why you take so many pictures on your phone, post them so that you can get likes. Like is a form of worship. Comments is a form of worship. Oh, son, I see you doing it. Oh, big girl, get your, you know what I'm saying? Yes, B. You know what I'm saying? All of that is a form of worship. It gives you
a high
that comes with it.
Yeah.
And we're addicted to it. We're addicted to it. So that's why
they sold us the high, Jay. They sold us the high.
yeah, it went from crack to attention.
Crack to attention.
It went from crack to attention.
That might have to be the caption for the episode. Crack to attention.
It went from crack to attention. This is what we are.
The new plague. The new plague.
You said a new plague?
No, the new plague.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Bridge 11, we're gonna go ahead and take a short intermission.